Hi everybody, welcome back to The Life's Good. In stark contrast to yesterday's weather, which was absolutely gorgeous here, today is a lot colder, or should I say cooler. It's overcast and we've had some rain showers. So I thought it was an opportunity to sit back on my perch here in the greenhouse and show you something that you guys, if you're stuck indoors or whatever your situation and you're wondering what to do, and maybe you've got family who are getting a bit bored and a bit frustrated with some things, something you can do to grow some food that your family can get involved in, and there's a bit of fun, and yeah, something we like to do as well. So today's little tip, hint, how to is mixed lettuce leaves. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a throat. No, it's not. I think I've just been talking too much, guys. Oh, right. Excuse me. So I've got this little plastic tray. It contains something that Cheryl purchased for use in the kitchen. Not sure, it might have been vegetables, it might have been meat or something, I really can't remember. It's a good little container, this, and what I've done, if you can see in the bottom, I've made some holes, just a few holes in the bottom. I just had a cordless drill with a little drill bit and blip, 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 holes in the bottom for drainage. Now what I'm going to do is I'll put some compost in there. And I've pulled out of my little pot here, I've got this little plastic pot, sweet pot, and it's got all my seeds in. I keep them in here. It keeps them dry and away from the light. And there's a little note as well. I've got these little packets. If you buy a pair of shoes or sometimes furniture or clothes or whatever, you sometimes find a little packet of silica gel inside. Now I save those and I pop them into containers like this to keep the moisture level down, so you don't want these things germinating in the box. So I've got a couple of packets of silica gel in there. Just a little extra tip for you. Don't throw the packets away, use them. Cheryl puts them in the clothes drawers in the house. A few of those in the corners of the clothes drawers, just to keep everything dry. We digress. In that pot, I had several packets of lettuce leaves left over from last year. And I have grown some already. I'm sowing some already in the trays behind me. I showed you in the last video. Now I've got some Lolo Rossa, or Lolo Rossa is the seed there. It's like a red tinted lettuce leaf. We do like these. It's got like a feathery edge, crinkly edge. The leaves are all crinkled. So the Lolo Rossa seed there. Mizuna, oh, excuse me, Butterfingers. Mizuna, that's it looks like an oriental type lettuce. It's got curly edges. I'm hoping you can see that all right on the camera. Mizuna, and there's also this little all year round lettuce. It's as you can see there, like I did say, it's a butterhead. I don't know if that's the right description, but it's more of a round shaped lettuce but with loose leaves. So we've got three different types of lettuce there, and what I do is I put some soil compost in the tray, and I'll take a pinch of each of these, mix them up and sow them in here. Now when they grow, you're not sowing them for whole lettuces, you're sowing them just to harvest the leaves, loose lettuce leaves. I've referred to it before as a cut and grow again situation, where you just take out all the little extra outside leaves, leave the inner ones to keep growing, and you'll get several weeks or so supply of lettuce leaves from that one pot. You'd be surprised how far they go. You don't need piles and piles of lettuce on your plate, but some lettuce leaves alongside something else is great, and it's really cheap to do, And the kids can do it. You can get your kids doing this. They love it. They're sowing, they're growing. They're learning something. They're watching this produce lettuce leaves. And the chances are, having grown them, they will want to eat them. And that's a plus as far as I'm concerned. So, I'll pop some soil in here and I'll show you what I do with the seed. Okay, well there you go. I've put some compost. It's just a cheap multi-purpose compost in this tray. You can buy these bags of compost all over the place now, guys. You don't have to go to a garden centre or anything like that where you'll probably pay a lot of money for some really special compost. Some of your bargain supermarkets and places like that, if you look outside the door, very often they have bags of compost at quite a cheap price. And as I said before, I recently purchased some 40-litre bags of a general purpose compost, of which this is the very same. They cost me what was it £2.99, £1.99, something like that. Really cheap. Might have been £1.99, £2 for a bag of compost. Come on, guys, it's not a lot of money and you're going to get a lot of food from it. Look, compost in there. I've filled it about 3/4 full. I think you can see that. You can see on the side it's about 3/4 full of this compost. I've just pressed it down lightly. But what I'm going to do now, traditionally you sow all your seeds, cover with soil and water. These seeds are very fine and very light, and to avoid the risk of washing the seeds up into a corner or into a pile or anything of that description, I'm going to water this now and then plant. So I've got my little fancy watering can. I could have used one of these. These are just as good. Water in a pop bottle with a washing up liquid top. Ideal for watering without gushing water all over everywhere. Easy to make, cheap as, upcycling, recycling, call it what you like. I've got a little fancy watering can, had it for years. What I'm going to do is just put a drop of water on this soil, give it a good wetting. You can't over water at this point, guys, because there's nothing in here that you're going to spoil. So just a reasonable amount of water in there, that should be sufficient. That soil is now quite wet. And we'll sit that to one side and we'll have a look at our seeds. Now inside these packets is another little packet. They're made of a type of foil, and if you open it up, you'll see in here, once I get there, that the seed in here is very fine. I'm going to put some in there. See if you guys can see that. That is lettuce seed. Very small seeds, very fine seeds. Now I'm going to put a few of those in my hand, and I'm going to sprinkle those fairly evenly over the surface of that compost. You don't need too many. I may have put a bit too much in there, guys. It doesn't matter. But I'm going to do that one. A bit of Lolo Rossa. That one, incidentally, was the all year round. The little dark seeds for that one. This is the Lolo Rossa lettuce. You can grow lettuce almost all year round, guys. You grow it indoors, you can grow it in the greenhouse. It will tolerate outdoors. Certain ones will tolerate. They will tolerate quite a bit of cold weather. Now these seeds, you'll notice, if I show you these ones, this is the Lolo Rossa seed. Now that is a very pale colour. You can see that? They're very pale, almost white in colour. Again, teeny tiny seeds. I've got a few of those. I'm going to sprinkle those in as well. That's the Lolo Rossa. And lastly, the Mizuna. Again, little foil pack. Now, I've already used some of these last year. I grew them, I sowed them and grew them, and planted them out in the garden. We had lots of lovely lettuce, and I also did this method of multi-leaf sowing. And I've got these left over from last year. £1 per pack, so there's £3 worth of seeds here, £3. I got lots of lettuce last year, some cut and come again lettuce last year. All through the season we were using lettuce, and I've got all these left over for this year, so I haven't had to purchase anything this year in terms of my lettuce. I have them here left over, so that makes it even cheaper. £3 I got lettuces, but I'm now getting lettuces again, and there's probably going to be some left over, guys. There's hundreds of seeds in these packets. Now look at this. This is the Mizuna, the curly leaf one. I said looks a bit oriental. You look at the seeds of this one, and they're little tiny round ones, little tiny bead seeds these. They're not elongated like the others, slightly different. But again, just going to mix those in on there with those. If you wanted to, you could put them all in a little pot, little lid or something like that. Put all the seeds in, shake them about, and then sprinkle them on. You could do it that way, whichever way you want. At the end of the day, what you want is a mixture of seeds in here, all different types, in this tray. You can use bigger trays, you can use a smaller tray, it's entirely up to you. Now there's 3 types of lettuce leaves gone in there. Remember, fold the foil pack down, pop it back in there so you know what's in there, put them back to one side. These I will put back in my little pot at the top there. Excuse me, guys. I am struggling this morning, I must admit. I beg your pardon. So we've now put the seeds in. And the next stage is to put some soil over the top. Remember, you've already watered it. What I didn't want to do was to use something like that little watering can and water it and push all the seeds, wash all the seeds into big clumps or into corners and things like that. You want to leave them evenly spread on the soil. I'm just going to lean over there, guys, and get some soil. To excuse me. I've got a little dustbin. It's sitting outside the greenhouse, a little green plastic dustbin. And when I purchased my compost, I decant it into that dustbin. And I've got this little scoop. I'm not sure where this came from, to be perfectly honest. But the scoop is absolutely ideal to fetch some compost from there, bring it in here, and put it in trays, pots, whatever, when you're working in the greenhouse. Right, I'll just put in a little amount there. That should be enough. You don't need those. See, I didn't use all of that. You don't need a thick layer. I'll just put that back in there. Spread this around. There's a couple of big lumps. We'll just break those up, guys. They will break down in time. I just loosen them up a bit and just tap that level. Just like that. And that is about it. Last thing to do, the very last thing to do, is to label it. You want to know what's in there. And I've got a nice little plastic plant label here. You can use anything to label these. If the kids have had lollipops, ice lollies, lollipop sticks, great little plant labels. The sides of a yogurt pot, cut into strips, plant labels. Anything that's not going to readily decompose, go soft, and you're going to lose the print from it. You want to be able to keep the label on here so you know exactly what's in there, when you sowed it, what it is, etc. On here, all I'm going to write here, I use a pencil, simply because I can erase the writing next year and reuse this label if I wanted to. I'm just going to put mixed leaves. You can put on there what you like. Salad leaves, mixed lettuce. Call it what you like. Mixed leaves. What's the date today? 28th of March. So we put the date on the back. The 28th of the 3rd. 20. Here we go. Mixed leaves. The date. Put it in the corner. Put it where you like. I've got these in the greenhouse. You can put these on your kitchen windowsill, your conservatory windowsill, spare bedroom, kids' bedroom, anywhere, in the kitchen, anywhere you like. You can put this now to germinate and grow. Ideal in the kitchen. If it's growing near where you're working in the kitchen, little pair of scissors, snip off the leaves, put them on the plate. You can't get fresher than that. 0 miles. No carbon emissions involved in transporting this from container to plate. Goes from my greenhouse to my kitchen. It's about 35 feet. 0 miles, no CO2. That's a plus. That is a bonus, guys. And it's fresh. It's fresher than anything else you're likely to get from the shops. Bags of mixed lettuce leaves from the shops. How much do you pay for them? Few different leaves in a bag. And where have they come from? I know situations at the moment, stuff's not travelling very far. But ordinarily, they come from Spain, Italy, Greece, all manner of other. They come from all over the place, man. The travel, the miles, the CO2, the transportation, everything else, to get those leaves into that bag for you to buy in a supermarket and put in your kitchen. When all you got to do is buy 3 packets of seed for £3, mix them up, put them in a container, any container, and you've got mixed leaves for pence. Honestly, it's a no-brainer. Why aren't more people rather doing this? Grow your own stuff at home, guys. Gosh, I must stop preaching. I'm shocking. I really am shocking. I apologise for that. But for me, I've grown up growing my own food. We've always had our own food, one way or another. Even if it's just something supplementary to what we purchase from the shops. Something. We've always had something from a container, a greenhouse, the garden. I'll tell you what, I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping now. And I will broadcast these videos in the hope that more people will realise how easy it is to grow something and get the kids involved. This is the thing, guys. Get the kids involved in growing food. Sowing a seed, watching it germinate and grow. See it produce the fruits, the leaves, whatever it is. Kids love it. Kids will love it. Get them involved now and they will be growing food in the future. They have to. They absolutely have to. Guys, mixed lettuce leaves. Simple as. I've got a few more things to do today. I'm off this weekend. We were supposed to be going away with the caravan. We had some holidays booked. That obviously isn't taking place now. So I'm able to spend a lot more time out here this weekend and really get things moving on the plot, in the greenhouse and everywhere else in our garden. Whatever you're doing, please, please, please take care of yourselves. You stay safe, be happy, look after each other, grow some food. See you next time. Bye-bye now. And on a final note, guys, I just wanted to show you that I've actually managed to use some of these slabs that were resting against the edge of the plot here. If you remember, I was given some slabs. I intended to use them for a pathway, and they've been sitting here ever since. Well, they've gone. What I did was the old wooden structure against the chicken coop, I have lifted it, and as you can see, it's pretty rotten. It was collapsing. I did keep falling through at points. I've taken that up and I've replaced it with a nice new slabbed pathway. This has given me a really nice walkway at the bottom of the plot, and if we go down here now, I can show you that I've ripped everything up here up to the compost bin, and I fully intend using some more of the slabs to pave that area up to my compost bin. So yesterday was a productive day. I'll just turn around and let you look back, and we installed a path. The weather's not so good today. It's a little bit breezy, a little bit colder, and I fully intend sowing and growing in the greenhouse. Whatever I'm doing, I'll make a video, I'll put it on for you guys so that you can do the same. So take care of yourselves, come back soon, bye.